Hello. Today I'm going to channel how do I resolve or let go of a feeling resulting from a confrontation. Now, I had a bit of an altercation with a neighbour recently. I wasn't upset with them, they were upset with me, and they kind of got a little bit nasty. I felt it was very unjustified, and I felt like a little bit of I'd been attacked for being a good community member. That's how I felt. So I was sort of holding some feelings because I just felt it was very unjust the way that I had been treated, considering I was actually doing a good thing. I thought I was doing a good thing, and that really annoyed me. And just sort of processing those feelings so it's not hanging around and interfering with my peace. I've been doing some things, and I'm just going to. I think it's a really good skill to have, is that when you do have confrontation, you can dissipate it and release it quickly. So I want to get some channeled guidance on that. So again, how do I resolve or let go of a feeling resulting from a confrontation? How do I let go, resolve a feeling resulting from a confrontation? Okay. Alright. Here we go. Greetings and thank you for the question. How do you let go or resolve feelings resulting from a confrontation? Let us begin by saying that every moment is holy. So the moment that you experienced is not an aberration. It is not something which is out of place or has no value or is a waste of your existence, because there is no waste, there is no loss, there is only contribution to oneness. So although it may have felt unpleasant, it was still a moment as holy as any other. And the people in the altercation with you are you. They are a different perspective of the one, and as such, they are a different perspective of you, because you also are the one. And so the love that you feel for self is equally deserved to be cast upon those people, because they also are a version of self. So, to bring understanding to what has occurred and how to process it, let's take a look at the dynamics of what the nature of your existence is. And then from that perspective, it will be easy to illustrate how it can be let go and moved back into peace easily. Before existence, there was only the one. And the one existed as a concept. Because when there is only one, there is no differentiation. There is no contrast. There is not the capacity to be one thing looking at another thing and being cognizant of differences between itself and the other thing, such that experience becomes possible. The one yearned to know itself experientially, because it knew itself conceptually, but it wished to have an experience of that which it knew about itself conceptually. So, it created existence. And in the moment of the creation of existence, it split itself into an infinite number of individuations. So although there is only one, from the moment of creation, there was the illusion of more than one. And through this illusion of more than one, contrast became possible. And because contrast, differentiation, came into existence, then so did the capacity for experience. Now there was more than just one. Now there were different perspectives of the one, experiencing themselves as unique and individual. And also made possible was the experience of here and over there and in between, hot and cold and in between. And in this matrix of differentiation, with the illusion of more than one through the individuation of the one of itself, the one began to discover itself through experience, because that is its purpose. The divine purpose, the purpose of the one, for which it created all of existence, is to know itself through the vehicle of experience. So all experience contributes to this divine purpose. For the one to know itself to completion, it must experience all possible permutations of experience across all forms of existence. And when all experience has been experienced, the one shall know itself to completion experientially. And so within the realm of all permutations of experience, all experience is included. There is nothing that can be experienced that is not within this realm of all permutation of experience which the one wishes to experience. So the experience that you had is an experience that the one desired to have, because the one wishes to experience all permutations of experience. So the experience that you had, although it may be unpleasant, through the perspective of the individual, it is still contributing to the awakening of the one through experience. It is a contribution to expansion of the one's knowing of itself. And so all experience is wholly from this perspective. There is no loss. While on the individual basis you may feel that you had a loss of dignity, a loss of respect, a loss of humility, but you are not the individual from the most expanded definition. You are the one. And from the definition of the one, this expanded awareness of self, you didn't lose anything, because it was all an addition to the expansion of the one's understanding of self through experience. It was a contribution to the divine purpose of the one, which is to know thyself. And when we look closer at you, the individual, it becomes apparent that you are not Murray, you are not the body, the personality, the mind. These are just temporary assets which allows the true essence of who you are, the infinite, immortal, invulnerable individuation of the love of the one, your higher self, to have a physical experience. The personality, the mind, the body, they allow the integration of the true essence of who you are into the physical experience. The true essence of who you are existed before this lifetime and shall continue to exist when this lifetime has concluded. So the mind, the body, the personality, they will cease to exist. And yet, you, the true essence of you, the energy which is you, will continue on. Because you are infinite, immortal, and invulnerable. So even though, from the perspective of this temporary body and mind and personality that you are, it was a painful experience. It was an unpleasant experience. It was an experience that perhaps you did not desire to have. You are unharmed from the true definition of who you are, because you are infinite, immortal, and invulnerable. So there has been no damage. However, there has been the opportunity to examine the reasons that this happened. Understanding that every moment is a moment of your creation. Every moment has occurred the way it has because of your beingness. Who have you been in the moments preceding the event which you experienced? And so it is feedback. It is a delayed mirror image of your state of being. And so it is an addition to you as well. It is an expansion to you as well, because it is an opportunity for you to become more aware of who you are being, so that you can choose a state of beingness which is more aware, which is more wise, and which creates future moments which are not reflective of that which you do not desire, which do not appear like the experience you had recently. So you have been blessed by this experience, because from this experience you can become more expanded in awareness of who you are. So to look at this forensically, recall the feelings that you held when this confrontation took place, and also the feelings that you continued to hang on to when you were in a state of suffering following the confrontation. Remember what that feels like. Now, send your memory back and recall the last time that you were holding a feeling of similar energy. And if you think about it, you will be able to discover there was a preceding moment which had an energetic quality of beingness similar to what you felt during the confrontation. And so the previous time that it occurred, and maybe times before, if this is a habitual way of being, you could say they were the seeds that planted that experience. Because your reality is a feedback mechanism for you to understand who you are being. It is essential for you to grow and to expand into greater understanding and awareness of self as an infinite, immortal, invulnerable individuation of the love of the One. Then it is necessary for you to have a reflection from reality which is telling you what your state of being is. And then from that, you can look closely to understand what choices of beingness are you making which are creating your reality. If you are choosing anger, then that will be the seeds which are planted into future moments, and then when those future moments are experienced, they will hold the opportunity for you to choose anger again. Because the universe, through physicality, gives you more of that which you are being. If you are being angry, then physical reality is going to give you more anger. However, it is not anger that it gives you. It is the opportunity to be angry it gives you. It gives you an opportunity where anger is the easiest thing to choose. And this is consistent with all states of beingness. So if your state of beingness is happiness, then physical reality will give you experiences where happiness is the easiest thing to choose. But of course, what is important to understand here is that it is not written in stone that anger shall be the experience you have. It is the choice to experience anger. And also equally available is the choice to experience a different emotionality, a different state of beingness. And without this mechanism, you would not be able to discover who you are not. Because it is through the process of discovering who you are not that you reveal who you are. When you have feelings which are unpleasant, resulting from the circumstances of your experience, then those unpleasant feelings are not who you are. They stem from a belief which is inaccurate about who you are, because you are an individuation of the One. And the One, in the vernacular of human emotion, is love and its derivatives. So if you are experiencing a state of beingness, an emotionality, which is not love and its derivatives, then it is not you. It is stemming from a belief which is false. Because if you are to truly experience self, you will be, by proxy, experiencing the One. meaning that you will be experiencing love and its derivatives. So it is essential, this process of feedback, so you can discover who you are not, and then let that go. And through this process, you will begin to dissipate the occlusion, the opaque lenses of false belief which the mind has erroneously layered over your true essence. And as these misunderstandings of self are revealed as false and let go, and these layers of erroneous belief constructed by the mind are allowed to be no longer a filter between the emanation of the true self, the higher self, the infinite, immortal, invulnerable individuation of the love of the One, as it emanates as your presence, then you become unfiltered. In other words, you become authentic. You become more masterful, because the higher self, the true essence of who you truly are, is connected to infinite wisdom. The true essence of who you are is masterful. You are the master, having a physical experience. And so your path to mastery is removing that which is false about self, and so revealing the master beneath. So be grateful for the experience that you had. Be grateful for those that were in the experience with you. Love them. Give thanks to them. And if this is difficult to do, to give love to those who, from your perspective, wrongfully attacked you, then begin by forgiving them. Understand that they are you. They are just a different perspective of the one thing which you are also. So they are you, and you are them. And as you are an individuation of the One, you are compiled of, your constituents are love and its derivatives. And as they are individuations of the One, they also are love and its derivatives. And all of you have agreed to have all possible experience across all existence to fulfill the divine purpose of the One knowing itself through experience. And so it is through agreement that you have disagreed with these people. It is through agreement that you have had the confrontation. Because together, as the One, individuated, you are fulfilling the divine purpose. And so their role in the confrontation with you was their holy, blessed contribution to the divine purpose, as was yours. And so forgive them, if that is going to make it easier for you to come to a place of love for them. But of course, forgiveness is not necessary, because from the perspective of the One, from the most expanded awareness of self, there was no transgression. There was only expansion. There was only contribution to the divine purpose. And so they did not do something wrong. Therefore, forgiveness is not required. However, we understand that it can be a challenge to forgive and to love those that have created an experience which has been unpleasant for you. And so, through this understanding that it is all about contribution to the expansion of the one's experience of itself, fulfilling the divine purpose, which is your purpose and their purpose, to know thyself, to discover the true nature of self, which is love and its derivatives. So if you cannot go immediately to love, immediately to gratitude, then go through the lens of forgiveness. Recognize all that we have spoken about to this point. And then forgive them. Do it for yourself. It is not something that you are doing for them. It is something you are doing for you. Because there is no benefit in holding on to a feeling which is unpleasant. Because that feeling you are holding on to, which is unpleasant, isn't you. You are trying to make your identity something which is untrue. You are not allowing the true definition of self to be known, to be revealed. And you are clinging to false belief, false identity and conceptualization of self. Because when you experience self fully, you experience nothing but love and its derivatives. And if you experience something outside of that scope, then it is not you. And it is of no service to continue to hang on to that, to continue to identify with that, continue to be that, which will create more moments in the future which, when they are experienced, will be opportunities to again experience this feeling, this state of beingness, which isn't you. So rather than learn the lesson slowly, requiring many iterations of this same pattern, realize now that it isn't you, and let it go. And then when you have come to this place of new understanding of self, give love and gratitude to those other individuations of the One that were in the experience with you, to facilitate this process of expanded awareness, of greater understanding of self, of becoming more fully realized as the individuation of the infinite love of the One. And so you can now begin to create experiences through the seed of your beingness now, which will be opportunities to experience more of the true essence of self, more love, joy, happiness, gratitude, bliss. And so these people that were instrumental, these people in your confrontation, were instrumental to this expansion, were instrumental to you now being more predominantly in a state of love and its derivatives. Were instrumental in you, through beingness, creating future moments that when they arrive will be experienced as love and its derivatives. They were instrumental in making your life better. Love them. have gratitude for them. Bless them, because they have done nothing more than to play their part in the mechanism of experience. Because experience is a vehicle of awakening. That is its purpose. And they have facilitated this mechanism so that you are now more awake, more aware, more wise, and more steeped in love and its derivatives. So let us take a moment now to forgive those people in the confrontation, if it is necessary. And we feel that you have forgiven it. You do not hold anything in your heart anymore, although at the beginning of this session we felt there was something there. But now we detect nothing. You hold nothing against them to forgive. And from this place of openness and recognition of the same divinity in each other, give them love. Give them gratitude. Thanking them for the blessing of your expansion and greater understanding of self. Thank you to you, Murray. Thank you to those who were in the conflict with you. And thank you to all of existence for your contribution to the expansion of the One, so that all of us may become more realized and more experiencing of the divine love in every moment. Thank you.